I don't know if anybody else has had a chance to try out the GPT image generator. I've tried it out a little bit. Good results. I do think that it is probably, you have to say, competitive with Nano Banana, with the new Nano Banana system, which is interesting. I was just thinking about it because their image editing ability is incredible, right? And so for them to be able to do that level of image editing, the models, like the way they're doing it is extremely, extremely high level. However, if you use something like Stable Diffusion and you use their model generation and just do pure image generation, the quality on those is better. And so I wonder what goes on there, why is their quality not as high as the open source models, but their image editing is far superior to it? And it may be something like that, where if the image editing is that good, everything they have to do the image editing is just going to inherently lower the absolute quality, but pretty good. And easier to use if you have a ChatGPT access. I don't know, I guess they're probably doing it on the free plan. I pay for mine, so I know I get it. And then I think, it's already rolled out in the API. And so if you want to start integrating it into your workflows or applications, go for it. What is the topic for today? Today we are going to continue our work on vibe coding a Instagram auto commenter. And we are going to be on part 1 for this, which is initially logging into Instagram and pulling posts. And then we'll see if we can get to the somewhat easiest part to do, but ends up being sort of a more, what would you say, as the part you're going to have to tinker with down the line the most is the comment generator. Because being able to log into Instagram and get everything to work and actually pull posts can be a little bit tricky, and we'll see. It may be, I don't think it's insurmountable. I haven't tried Instagram before, but I was able to get through with Twitter. I was able to do it with LinkedIn, and I feel like if we can do it with those, then there must be a solution for Instagram, but we'll see. We may run into a roadblock there. But if we get pretty good progress on that, then we should be able to do the auto comment generator. And the last part is going to be the actual submission of the comments. And then I think one thing that I do want to put on the list, and especially if people are interested in it, I know that Aaron has been talking about Google Gems lately. And I think that could be something that's really useful for people. And so either next Friday or the week after, we're probably going to start working on Google Gems and giving those a spin, seeing how useful they can be for people. And so that is what we have for today. Let me see. When I first showed up in the call, nobody was here, which was a little bit rough. And then a lot of people have shown up, and a lot of new faces, I feel like. Barry, I know you're not new. You've been here for a while. However, we have Eric. Eric, are you new? If you are, you can introduce yourself, throw a message in the chat, or turn on your mic. Or I could pass. We can go on to the next person. All right, let's go with Felix. Felix, I definitely feel like I would remember Felix.
Hello. This is actually my first time here.
Absolutely. I can tell. I don't recognize your name.
Yeah.
Okay, Felix. What inspired you to join AI Profit Boardroom in these coaching calls? What are you looking to get out of it? I know it's AI, right? That's why we're all here. But is there anything specific with AI, how you want to apply it?
Well, currently I work at a startup, and I wanna basically do automations for it, so my work gets easier and then we can get better results. But I'm also interested in starting an agency because I've seen so many people do it. So I'm currently also like figuring out what niche, what problem to solve currently. So that's essentially why I'm here. And I joined yesterday, so I'm kind of new to this.
You want to do an AI agency, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I think there are people that would kill me for saying this, but we need more AI agencies out there. Good AI agencies for sure.
Yeah.
There is a huge vacuum, especially for good ones, right? And I'll tell you, just to give you, because I have been doing an AI agency for a while. So a few different things. One, the most common story you will hear for sure is people saying, we started using ChatGPT and then we really liked it. We know we're not using it right, and we could get more out of it. And then this has opened us up to realizing that AI can do even more. And like that is the gateway drug for so many different companies and professionals. I have heard that probably 95% of the time is roughly some variant of that story. And I'll tell you, like, to just sort of get yourself, get your foot in the door, get things up and going. Really, if you kind of do some of the work on AI Profit Boardroom, like do some of the classes or the 6-week course, if you show up to our coaching calls and just, absorb some of this information via osmosis for a few months, you're basically at that point ready to get things off the ground with most companies, because they have no idea how AI works. If they're at that stage where they're like, yeah, we use ChatGPT a little bit and now we're interested in it, roughly, you just need to stay ahead of them the entire time. Yeah. And that's not that hard. Once it starts to expand beyond that, where they're like, hey, we want you to actually build something for us or do training or do whatever, again, just try to stay one step ahead of them or a few steps ahead of them, and you become the expert. You're the one who is spending your time knowing this stuff and figuring it out. A lot of it comes down to presentation. And then what I like to always tell people is, like, one of the things that happens with AI and that everybody on this call is guilty of is the shiny object syndrome and the overwhelmingness of AI. And really being able to manage that aspect is half of the job, essentially. Because AI is so amazing. You can do all these different things with it. It's great. It's going to transform everything. Like you're looking into it right now, right, to make your process more efficient. And you can use your company, right, as a experimental testing ground for a lot of these projects, and then start to sell them to these. However, for a lot of companies, when they want to start doing AI, they are very bad at targeting how to apply AI to their company. And if you look back on some of our previous coaching calls, especially on the Friday ones, all of the recordings are up on the website somewhere. Lately I've been doing hands-on stuff, but for a while I was doing these presentations, and a lot of those presentations are great for if you want to start an AI agency, and really gives you a lot of insight into how to evaluate a company and how to make sure they're doing AI the right way, or how to choose UI designs for their AI applications. All these different things that I think that people sort of ignore and become the difference between success and failure. And really, part of the problem is, again, like these companies, they'll be interested in, here, like this is something we could use AI to make this faster, or we can let's set up an automation to do this. It's like, well, how much time are you really spending on that a week? Oh, we spend a couple hours on it. And it's like, okay, that's not let's not do that, right? It's like, let's look at something. What is going to provide you with the most value? What is going to save you the most amount of time? Because it's probably not going to be a perfect development system. There's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be issues. And you want low-hanging fruit that will provide them value, as much value as possible immediately, so that you can potentially turn them into a repeat customer, right? If you deliver them an AI solution, the one that they possibly wanted but didn't need, then they're not going to get that much value out of it, and that investment is not going to be useful for them. And so part of it is, again, like keeping them focused and realizing that they need to not just do AI because it seems cool, but because it will actually provide value for them.
Sounds good.
Yep. Awesome. Great to have you here. And that advice, I think, goes for all of us in general. Like, we all, again, have this issue where, oh, let's try this, let's try that, let's try this. Find one thing that is going to help you and really laser focus on that 80% of your time that you're spending on AI. And then the other 20%, test out, as I said, like ChatGPT just came out with their new image generator. Spend a little bit of time playing with that. Like, make sure that you understand that. And that's, you'll find these different little quote unquote gems, or even, possibly these Google gems, right? That will help you. But if you are spending 80% of your time on discovery and 20% of your time on moving the goal or getting progress on your main project, your main project's never going to get done, and you'll become very knowledgeable about AI, but not very productive. I saw this meme once, said that, what is it? It's like learning or reading is procrastination for intelligent people. And at first I was like, no. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's totally true. Like the amount of time that I spend learning or reading instead of actually getting something done is like, yeah, I'm just procrastinating. Like you have to get progress and get some stuff done. All right, great to have you, Felix. Let's go on to, I'll go with H, high C almost, like HK. Are you new?
I'm new.
Yeah, okay. Showing your name though.
I joined last week. So
you were here last week?
No, I joined last week. I have this.
Joined last week. Okay, what motivated you to come to AI Profit Boardroom and to the coaching calls? What kind of AI? How are you hoping to have AI help you?
I'm trying to learn a little bit automation. I want to automate creating some of these YouTube videos that I guess what's his name?
Julian
has been doing. Yeah. Yep. So I think it's is it part of the 6-week course? Is it in that or?
I'm not sure. I haven't done the 6-week course. Maybe I should try it out. What you can do is, for sure, what I'm more familiar with is the N8N templates page. So that on the classroom page, there's a section for N8N templates, and there are different N8N templates on there that will help you figure that out. I can give you some general advice right now. We talk about this a lot because a lot of people are coming here. One, as everybody who's been on the call before has heard me say, do not start with, do not's probably strong. I would not start with automation first. I would work with AI generation first. And then once you have your AI generation workflow down, then start to automate it. If you try to do automation and AI generation at the same time, it is overwhelming and you're not going to necessarily get there. And so what I mean by this is you can create a YouTube channel, like a faceless YouTube channel or an AI avatar channel, have ChatGPT write a script for you, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much doing that already. I probably publish at least 10 to 20 videos. So that's
okay, never mind. All right, so you're already there. So you've got.
I'm already using HeyGen, so I have a HeyGen system.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you already are exactly. So here, perfect example for everybody. He is already generating his content, and now you want to automate it through N8N or something. Yeah. Okay. Then if you are already doing that, I would say, one, check out the N8N template workflows, and then also if you can go back, I did I did multiple weeks on this. It would be on our Thursday coaching calls. I did one on how to automate a script generator to an 11 Labs, voice generator to a HeyGen video generator through N8N. And then I did another one that was generating images, and then it would take those images and generate videos from that. Once you have all of that content automated, you're good. I don't know if there is a great way of automating all the editing yet. And so you can get it to automate all your content, but you may need to pay someone to edit it cheaply or something like that, and just have it generate everything. You might be able to get it to do a rough edit for you, but that I wouldn't just have it published straight from your edits.
Yeah, I run it through some different tools. I run it through at least 3 different tools, so before I even get it. So I was wondering, like, because I see Julian publishing so many of these like updates from every day. Almost he has like at least 3 updates. I'm wondering if he has like how is he getting all the B-roll for it? I know he probably uses the AI to generate the script, and but all the information seems pretty accurate related to these newer Google models, and then you have all the ChatGPT, and you have everything, Notebook LM, and everything. I said, wow, he's covering so many topics. I mean, even myself trying to grasp all the different areas is just so immense. I love Notebook LM. I've been using it like crazy. I've been using HeyGen. I've been using ChatGPT. I use Gemini. I use all pretty much all the major ones, Perplexity. And but just to keep up with all this updates is just still crazy, even though I'm using it.
Well, this is also like our business, right? So this is all we're doing, right? So for other people, like if you have another job that you're doing, then you have to spend time on that. We also have a team, right? And then we get people are sending us tips and information. I also, like for myself, I subscribe to newsletters. My LinkedIn feed is completely AI, and then my Instagram has it. So like I am fairly aware of all of the AI news as it's happening. I try to deliver that during our coaching calls. However, he's even more ahead than I am. Like they knew about the N8N prompt to workflow before, and I saw it anywhere. And so I think that, some of it is also just being part of the community, being out there and then getting that information. And then using, once you have, that the story exists, using an LLM to synthesize scripts and doing research for you on it, and then using that to, power your videos. What kind of content are you generating videos for?
I do like some stock news, I think, but that's using my avatar and things like that. It works pretty well.
Yeah.
And I, basically can gather other people, using other people's information as doing some research, and it just creates a pretty powerful script, and then it seems pretty engaging. So I'm getting some pretty positive feedback. So
amazing. And yeah, this is one of the things. Let me see if I can find it. I saw this post. I need to bring this and drop this in the chat. It had this list of, I think this really applies to a lot of people on here, the channels that pay the most for advertising revenue, and stocks is great, right? Is that why you chose it? Were you interested in investing? I guess a little bit.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm, it's, everybody needs to know, invest or things like that, right? So if you're not doing it, then you're leaving money on the table. So yeah, so I'm doing that. It's something I'm doing, but I'm creating content for too. So
yeah. No, but investment is one of the top topics, or best topics to be generating content for if you want ad revenue. Here, so I just dropped this link. It came from this Instagram post. Everyone check it out. I do think that this becomes useful, again, something to think about. It's like, if you're going to put all this time into a AI avatar system, try to choose a topic that will give you the best chance for success and the best, payout for ad revenue. As you can see, you might be interested in theme parks, but then you will only make a quarter of the ad revenue for a theme park based content channel than you would for an investment one. And so maybe, H, today we're going to be doing this Instagram auto commenter. Part of the reason why we're doing that is that I believe one of the best ways to help grow your channel is to not just be posting, but to be commenting on other people's channels from your account. That helps you get into the algorithm, that gets you more visibility. This is Instagram and not YouTube, but similar principles apply. And you could probably do the same thing with YouTube if you tried. Awesome. Great to have you here. Check out some of these N8N workflows for the past coaching calls, and then the other ones that are in the classes section. There's an N8N templates. Those will get you going, and you should be able to automate this process pretty easy, especially if you're already doing it. You already have your process, then that is step one. Too often people try to bypass the step that you've already taken. And I think that is what you're doing is great. You're on your way. How long have you been doing your channel for?
Maybe 2 months.
Okay, great. And so, I think if you can hold on for a little bit longer, then pretty soon you might really be able to turn this into something, and then you got yourself passive income, and then you're ready to go at that point.
That's what I'm looking to see how to automate it. Like I see Julian pumping out so much content for AI, but I'm trying to duplicate it for my own niche. So I'm just, cause I think my hard thing is trying to get the B-rolls and everything. The talking point is good, but I think just the nicer B-rolls is actually harder to get.
So B-roll, are you trying to use things like VO or who else? Kling or who else does it? Runway? Any of those people to make your B-roll?
Yeah, it's probably like it probably runs to VO. Yes.
Okay. Because I think, and this came up before, there are different, there's a lot, so like one of them that we've used in the course before is FAL.ai, but then there's also Higgsfield. There's other services that are like that, where essentially you can get an account with them and they'll give you discounts on AI video generation. I would suggest trying to hunt down one of those and get, because it's going to cost money. You probably already know this. Like if you're using HeyGen, right? Like AI video generation is not cheap. I mean, it can be, and it can be cheaper, but if you're going to be doing, say, 1,000 clips a month or something like that, that is going to end up costing you. And if you can get that price, I think we looked at one, I forget, somebody posted it in our coaching call, roughly right around when we were doing this exercise. So if you look for a coaching call where we're doing image and video generation using, I think we were using VO, and we were doing it through Fall AI. On that call, somebody suggested another service that was like 1/3 of the price or 1/4 of the price. And that's part of the sort of hack here, is using the lowest cost video generation service.
I've been using HeyGen. It works great. Yeah.
But that's for your avatars, right? This is for your B-roll.
Yeah. So actually, you can do B-roll through HeyGen too, but you have to do manually. It's kind of a little tedious. So I'm thinking of maybe hiring a VA or somebody to help me add it into it. So.
Well, depending on what the price is through HeyGen, I would suggest using, because like with these other services, you can use an API and do it all automatically.
Yeah, HeyGen you can use API too, but I think it's a different service. Though.
Okay. Yeah, you might still might want to try one of these other ones. I feel like the quality is going to be a lot better if you're using VO, something through Higgsfield, something through Fall. Again, like Kling, Runway, Lux, they all have like really good video generators that I feel like are probably better than HeyGen.
Yeah, actually, the Google just came up with another one called WHISK. That thing works really well.
What is that one? You're saying WHISK?
WHISK, WHISK. It's made by Google. It's a free app. It's pretty crazy. You can take an image and it pretty much create like a whole storyboard. Like you can probably make a whole movie from it. Just using that tool. It's all, I think it's free. Mostly it's off. You can generate it for free. And then what it does, it takes the images, it can animate it, and you can if it's animation, if it's
They have WHISK, they have Flow. I knew about Flow. That's the one that we use for WHISK. Interesting.
Yes, it's by Google Labs. I think most people don't even know about it, but I've been testing it. It's really powerful. But it's Google. I think it's gonna come. It's coming up with so much stuff that so many hidden things that we don't. Really know.
It's using image gen and then VO. Interesting.
So it's almost like a free VO that you can get generating for free.
Fascinating. Okay, very cool. All right. Well, great to have you here. Thank you for coming in. And as I said, check out some of these older coaching calls and check out the N8N template page, and that can give you a starting point. All right, we have a couple more. We'll go try to get through these a little bit quicker just because I want to get to some vibe coding today. Tabe, see you at the bottom. Are you new? Oh, there we go. We got a mic.
Hi. Hi. My name is Tamer.
Hi, Tamer. How's it going?
Good. Actually, I'm here new for a week or so now. Basically, I'm looking for. Actually, I joined this one. I was expecting that I'm gonna get some more advanced SEO and AEO stuff, but I found out there is another place. But I'll give it a try for the month. I will not shut it down now because I have actually learned something, especially for creating videos. And also there are some prompts that can be used to generate my articles for the websites that I'm serving. So this is actually what I'm trying to achieve: search engine optimization, and lead generation. with the N8N automation.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So again, for you, check out the N8N template page, and then I've done some coaching calls on lead generation. I did one that was a presentation on AEO, but we didn't really do hands-on AEO. That is, I've told other people on the call before, if you're looking for a new sort of niche to get into, AEO is great because nobody has 10 years of AEO experience. You might have some SEO experience that you can use to apply to it, but AEO is probably going to be one of the fastest growing, roles, jobs, whatever, because ChatGPT is taking over as one of the more dominant search engines out there. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully, maybe we can get maybe we can work on that for our gems, seeing if we can do anything with SEO or AEO through that. And then last but not least, I see we have, again, I don't think this is your name on your birth certificate, but we got the scaling schools at the bottom there. Your name is so long, it doesn't even show me your full name. But I see you already got your mic active. Is that a recorder though? Maybe.
Yeah, sorry, that's my recorder.
That's your recorder. I just saw it in the lower corner. Okay, so we already got you. All right, Felix. Okay, so time to get to. Let me just make sure that everything is set up for us to do our Instagram bot. Boom, boom. Instagram bot. Extracted feed. Okay, and let me bring up. Was there a, okay, no. That was that. Okay. All right, so just to give, no, that's turning off my camera. I don't want that. Camera's back on, entire screen. Okay, so just to give everybody an overview really quick. So I always do my vibe coding through Claude. That's the one that I would suggest using. Opus 4.5, the more I use Opus 4.5, the more I am happy with it. It is not perfect right off the bat. I don't think any of the LLMs are perfect in any way, but it is very powerful. It is definitely reducing the troubleshooting time I'm doing with vibe coding, and is getting good complex solutions pretty quickly. So this is basically a three-step process. Here, let me see if I can move this Fathom guy. And a lot of times, what I wanted to do is, and I suggest this for you, if you're going to do a vibe coding project, is first have a conversation with the LLM about it. Get it to go over. So if you see here, it does this reality check. And part of this is, as I described the first time we did this, this is not a purely, I don't know if the word ethical is probably not legal. It's probably legal and could be ethical. It is frowned upon by the companies that we are doing this. Meta does not want us to do this. When I built one for LinkedIn, LinkedIn does not want me to do this. And Twitter did not want me to do this. And so you need to be careful if you are doing something like this. There is a way to use their APIs typically to do a lot of this stuff. And that is also an option here, but they will charge you for that. And that's part of the reason why they don't want you to do this. They'll say they don't want it for bots, and that can be true. If you have a completely botted social media platform, then that's going to be negative. However, part of the real reason why they don't want you to do this is because they want to charge you for it. So as you see, it went through these reality checks so that we can sort of discuss this project a little bit more. And for this, a couple of things that I think do really matter. If you're going to do something like this, where you're going to use an automated system to do commenting, or even an automated system to do posting, start slow and build. And then also add, as you can see in here, there's these behavioral pattern analysis that they're doing. So we have randomization. And then even from there, I am using a dummy account essentially to do this, or, not my main account initially. And then I will use that to front run the process. So essentially what I would do is let the dummy account build and always do things as well, sort of build up this dummy account, one that I don't really care about the success of, and always let that kind of lead as far as increasing capacity and things like that, and then have my real account follow by a few weeks. So this is sort of like the canary in the coal mine situation. So I have my Instagram profile in the coal mine. If that Instagram profile starts getting sick, and starts getting, warnings or threats of suspension, then time to back off on the whole thing and reduce your capacity. And then also, what I would suggest is then for your real account is to, on our real accounts, we do want to interact with it a bit as a human. So that combination of interacting with it as a human and as a bot will also lower the risk of being caught. But I will say that what we're doing now does not carry zero risk with it. A lot of times when we do work on these projects, they are totally fine. This does have some amount of risk in it. But as I said, if you follow all these steps, you should be good. And then, as I said, I'm going to start it with 10 comments a day. I feel like that's good. You really don't want to do too many more than that, like maybe 40 comments a day or something like that. And really, what this is just going to do is, 40 comments a day, especially if they're thoughtful, good comments, is a time suck. And if you can do this and set this up so that it is doing it for 10 seconds of your time a day, maybe even less once you get it fully automated, over 2 years, that's worth a significant amount of time, and can really help grow your account. And so then I broke it down. It had some questions for me. I answered those questions, and then it came up with this concept, the system. And then I was like, yes, let's do this build. And then this is one of my favorite little vibe coding solutions here. Have it create a setup script for you, and then that will set up folders and files and like all these different things, and just really kind of like gets things off the ground and starts you off on the right foot. This is not really meant to be something that like I try to launch wide scale. Really this can exist as probably these few scripts that it has here, and this could be it. I really am probably not going to need too much more beyond this. Even doing this env file on some level is probably overkill, just because it's all going to be me. Like, I'm not going to post this to GitHub or something like that. And so but it does make it so there's one place to store all your information for everything that's going to use it. And then boom, we got our setup project script. It gave us this first file here, and then we are away and going, and boom. I had a couple of questions about it. One thing is, when you get your setup script, find out if they want you to create the directory first, or if it's going to create the directory. Otherwise, it's not that big of a deal one way or another. And then it did lead me a bit astray by not telling me to first set up a VNV. I highly suggest you set up a virtual environment for any of your projects, and then you need to do your pip installs for the requirements, and then put all of the env is going to store, for this one, the credentials for your login, and then any API credentials. We're only using OpenAI's LLM to handle this stuff, and their VLM. And so basically I just need my login credentials and my LLM credentials, and we're good. And then boom. But we ran into an image or into a problem. We had a bit of an issue, and one is that it didn't sign in properly, and then two, it also had an issue with actually extracting information. So theoretically, it fixed both of those. We'll see. Boom, boom. And I don't even know if I've copied and pasted this over yet. So extract feed. This is where we're at, and let's see what happens. And as I discussed in the previous coaching call, one solution, if some of this stuff isn't working, so it's already signed in, which is good. I think it is using some sort of a persistent system. I forgot how it's doing it. But it bypassed the signing in issue, and it's finding posts. So as you can see, it actually, so this is a little bit more resource intensive, a little bit more, because it's not just interacting with the social media posts just through code. It actually opens up this browser. You're probably going to see a lot of female models, and then I don't know what else on this one. Hopefully it doesn't get too scandalous. The stuff that people are allowed to post on Instagram these days is wild. And then this is, as you can see down here, it's skipping the video reel posts just because it's going to have trouble handling those. Although if we wanted to, we could probably open this up a bit more. And the one thing I have to figure out what it's doing here is it keeps on saying found post DSK. And, oh no, okay, it's finding different posts. Never mind. It's just the words look the same. So it is finding these different posts. Theoretically, it is going to be extracting the image and the text, and we'll see how that goes. So this has a 10 post limit. So theoretically, when it finds 10 good posts, I think it's going to stop. Boom. Yeah. Okay. And then it extracted these posts. So at least we got somewhere. Let's see. And then I can check. So it has extracted images and where extracted posts.json. See that in set. Whoa, this is a lot of session data. I did not know it was doing all that. Okay, extracted images. All right, let's check on that in a second. Output saved to extracted. Oh, okay, right here. Fascinating. All right, and then just to double check. All right, these are all names. Great. Okay, the caption is not being extracted properly. As you can see here, it has the author, and then the caption is off. It's saying author and then caption, and it has their name again or whatever. And then I want to check these posts. I would be shocked if this is correct, but we will see. Post ID. Maybe it's going to be right. They all have the same. Oh, I don't have an account right now, or I don't have an account signed in, so I wonder if this is going to work at all. Oh, it did. Okay. So that is a post. Yeah, this is one of the first ones we saw, right? This woman on the beach. And then, all right, so we're getting close-ish. The real question is, did it pull the images? I think it did. No, maybe not. I feel like it is pulling the, their like profile image. Right, that's why we're getting the same one so many different times. These all look like profile pictures, and then, again, like that, even that trap house one. So let's do a. And again, this is why you can't just. Well, I mean, I guess we are trying to automate, but like why you need to like put a human in the loop for this stuff, especially initially. That's why I'm breaking these up into 3 different portions. So let's take a look. This one again. So this is DSX. That's this guy. So that's that. And so then if I go to that post, all right. I think this is the one we just looked at, right? So shut it down. Then is that her profile picture? Boom, boom, boom. So again, not perfect. Yeah. Right. So it's pulling the profile picture and not. Okay. So, all right. And then here. Okay. So I logged with it the 2 issues that we're having. Here, let me check. I know I just saw something in the chat. And I might need to inspect the screen to figure it out. Can you explain the strategy behind the build, choice or post comment, and the goal for the channel? Russell, can you explain your question a little bit more in depth? I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, thanks. Basically, in a nutshell, what's the purpose of the channel? And what's the strategy behind the posts, the comments, I should say? Basically,
So
your idea. What are you hoping to gain?
So for this is just this specific channel right now is just my fake, like my tester channel. So like it personally has no real purpose. And then the commenting, as I said, the only real strategy with the commenting is to help build my own channel. And I've done this before. Again, like for Instagram, I'm actually personally not that interested in building my own Instagram channel. Although if this works out well, maybe I'll think about it and just automate it and have it build me an Instagram channel. But in general, for all social media, you want theoretically to have an auto commenting system, or you want a commenting system of some sort, because that will help build your channel. That will help you show up in the algorithm. That will help you gain followers if you are auto commenting. But you also need to be posting, right? That's also necessary for this. But I think that people will do the posting and then they won't do necessarily the commenting, and commenting can take longer than the posting, right? You can set up a system that will automatically generate you AI images, right? And AI captions for your posts. And I would actually, when I was doing this for LinkedIn, I would use something like ChatGPT to generate my posts and my pictures. And I would do that by hand because I only wanted 1 or 2 posts a day. I didn't really want to do 10 or 20 posts a day. I don't think that that's positive, but you want to do 1 or 2 posts a day every single day for, 365 days a year. With YouTube, you want to do either, if you really want to get it out there, 1 video a day or 1 video a week. 1 video a week is the minimum, right? But that 1 video a week is great. Really, you do need to be commenting on, once you get this system up and going, 40 comments a day is pretty good. Again, I would start with 10, but then once you're getting up to 40, that is going to supercharge your ability to increase your channel. And you do want there to be somewhat quality comments, but it doesn't need to be Shakespeare out here. Does that answer your question, or did I kind of miss the concept?
Yeah, pretty well. What I'd look at this is conceptually, what should be the picture that I should be looking at in context of like real estate, and how can I know that posting is important, just like you said. I know that commenting, it's social engagement, right? So commenting is part of that engagement, obviously. I'm just trying to think of a picture of what I should aim for. If I'm commenting, on my own channel, that's one thing. If someone gets back to me, we want to be able to have auto reply commenting. Maybe Meta has their own. I don't know anything about it. I just discovered it not too long ago, but I haven't endeavored with it yet. But really, what you say is what many other gurus say, is get on to other people's channels who have mass followings that are aligned with your brand. And that's kind of where I have a little bit of a disconnect, trying to wrap myself around what's really believable. Why would me as a realtor want to be on somebody else's channel commenting? How would I drag people over to my? That's kind of where I was headed, but I didn't want to, shall we say, hijack the group.
No, I'm going to try to answer. And so part of what we're doing now, right, is just this first portion of interesting, is grabbing is grabbing the post. From there, there is this is interesting. Part of, sorry, I got a little distracted. Part of their system is that it's using AI to describe the image, and it's pulling, because I just noticed, like, the woman, whoever uploaded this image, did not put this in here. So in their website, they have, to inspect the code, an explanation of the image that they're using AI to do. So right now, again, right, we're just trying to pull the actual content. From there, when it comes to commenting, that's especially where you want to be another like human in the loop system, where you're going to need to prompt your LLM how to comment properly and what you're looking for out of those comments. And you can do all kinds of different things. Like, it could always be, yeah, you should always be positive and complimentary, or you should be suggesting, be positive and complimentary, and then suggest people check out your posts, right? Or you can do this or that. Like, you should have a bit of a strategy, and it will depend on what you're trying to do. It could be like you're trying to be a provocateur, right? Where it's just like, yeah, always make fun of their posts and point out something, right? And so you can sort of choose what you want to do within there as far as that strategy. And again, like, that's going to be up to you. And I would initially, as I said, for me to set it up vibe code wise is going to be fast. For you to fine tune and perfect it is going to take a little bit longer, and you may need to do a little bit of editing here and there, and like give feedback to the system to increase your prompts, because those can start to sound a little robotic, which you don't want. They can get very similar, where it's using the same speech a lot of the same time. And you don't necessarily want that. But again, like, it really is up to you and like what the vibe and tone of yours is. So like if you're doing something for real estate, right, it may be, you know, complimentary, promotional, professional, things like that you're looking to do with these comments. And again, for all this social media stuff, the reason why we do the automation is because it's going to take a little while for it to get up and going and to be good and useful. And so, you know, you won't get automatic results from this, but if you just let this thing run, once it's ready, and it's running for months, you will definitely start to see results from the months of time that this has been running.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right. And so now I'm giving it, open to get. And this can be a little bit tricky. These websites, or they're not trying to give you all this stuff. So sometimes there might be a better way of grabbing the code than this. I always have to just like copy and drag it down into my editor and use it. All right, let's try that. And then, so you see I'm inspecting this different portion. Sometimes you need to open it up a bit. So if it has that triangle, then you're just trying to give it as much information as possible. It may be and like now that they have like the longer context windows, there may be some value in possibly just trying to download the entire web page and then just handing that over to the system and see what it comes up with. All right, and here I go. And so as you see, I'm just doing this inspect. I might on the next one, let me try and see what happens if can I download that whole web page. I've never done that before. All right. So now it's got some more code to work with. Save as. What did it save as? Oh, it took a while for it to download. Got it. And then it downloaded these files too. Fascinating. Okay. All right. So then if this doesn't work, I am going to try to feed it the entire HTML page and see what happens. But we will see what we get this time around. And then here, let me go into here. We don't need all these old extracted images. That'll just confuse us. And then the same thing. But you don't need this either. And we're about to get a new version. Okay, let's see how this one runs this time. Extract feed, and we are off and on. So, all right, it's finding posts. See what our images are looking like. Oh, hold on. Let's see. No, I think it's still grabbing. I don't see Eminem with this military guy. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah. And let me see if it did any better with any aspect. When it generates this JSON, cool, extracted posts. No, it's not. That did not work. Okay. All right. Time is up, but hopefully we will be able to get this figured out next time we're here. It has the whole Instagram webpage now, and oh, it got truncated. Okay. Well, it's definitely looking. I will see everybody here on Monday. We will do Q&A day, and then hopefully I might try to like move this forward a little bit between now and next Friday so that we can move on to the AI text generation. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Friday and weekend, and enjoy AI and automation. Bye.